Hi everyone, some gamer dude here. So sometimes things just don't turn out. I was going to look at and review MetaZoo. For reasons it just didn't come to fruition and I'm probably not going to talk about it. I was going to review Wixoss a few years ago. It just didn't happen. I watched the anime in anticipation of reviewing it, but never got around to it. I was going to review the Diva selection, the upcoming English release, in anticipation of its English release. Didn't happen either, but I still wanted to talk about Wixoss. So, if you don't know how to play Wixoss, this whole video will be predicated on you understanding how to play Wixoss and having some knowledge of Vanguard and Duel Masters. If you don't know how to play Wixoss, I suggest going over to the YouTube channel TCGAcademia and watching his videos on the subject. I'll put a link in the description. I think he's a good channel regardless, and I honestly think you should probably sub to him. He's putting out some quality stuff. So, coming from Vanguard and Duel Masters and all that type of stuff, Wixoss actually had a high learning curve. Most because the transferable skills aren't as transferable as they are in other games. So, let's just take Vanguard as an example, right? You have your Vanguard. Anything that can attack anything, really. So, all three of your opponent's front row can attack your Vanguard. You can guard those attacks with cards from your hand when the amount of shielding plus the power of the unit transcends the power of the attacker is blocked. Yep, we all know how to play Vanguard now. Or hopefully you knew how to play Vanguard. In Wixoss, it's a little bit different. Basically, the equivalent of your Vanguard, your Lyrig, sits at the center back. And the units in front of it, the Signy, they protect her, because all the cards in this game, I believe, are female. Because it's, I believe it was actually made for older and middle-aged guys, which actually kind of makes it kind of creepy in a way. And I'm really curious how it'll go in the West, but we'll get to that in a little while. So, your front row, if you've got a unit a Signy in front or in a column, the opponent's Signy across from that can't attack you. They have to get through your Signy to get to you. Except they're Lyrig, who can just bypass everything. And that's where guarding comes back. Because you have 4 cards in your deck that give you the ability to prevent damage to your life cloth, which is your equivalent of the shields. You also have a life burst here, which is your shield trigger. Okay, so because of this, you constantly, coming from a Vanguard perspective, want to guard, and you're just sitting there going, I can't do anything, except you can, and you've been doing it by having those Signy in front of you. That's the point, to set up a barrier between you and them, and then using the guards to prevent the rest. You generally only have about 4 spells in the deck, but you generally use control effects to get rid of your opponent's Signy so that you can attack them directly and gain damage momentum. And I think that feels very, very different to Vanguard, and I don't think this is really appreciated by the people that go around going, it's literally Duel Masters cross Vanguard. It's not. It's really not. And I think those changes make it a really interesting game by comparison. I think it's far more unique than it's given credit for. And honestly, I think it's a lot of fun from what I've played. Going in, I will say I didn't play it enough to get full grasps with it. A lot of this comes in retrospect, thinking about my experiences with it and thinking about wanting to play it again, but unfortunately that won't happen until the English release. I think something that does bug me a little bit, but it's something I'll probably come to grips with over time, is just how restrictive the ability to do anything reactive actually is. You have your life burst that might do something like tap an opponent's Signy, kill a Signy, whatever. But other than that, you just have your guard cards and your level 2 assist Lyrigs. You're in this version of Wixoss, you have a center Lyrig, she's your avatar equivalent, and 2 assist Lyrigs. Your avatar Lyrig evolves up to level 3 from 0, and your assist Lyrigs go up from 0 to 2. Those assist Lyrigs give effects, increase the amount of total cost of Signy you can have out, or the amount of Signy you can have out. And on the level 2, they give you timing battle phase effects, which are your reactive abilities. That means you only have maximum of 2. Also, all 3 cards dictate the team you have and the colors you can run, which is interesting, though it's not something we haven't seen before. A lot of games have been doing this in recent years. Yeah. But honestly, if you have the patience for Japanese, I'd say check out Wixoss. I think it looks like a lot of fun. If you want to try it when it comes out in English in November, I hope it's a worldwide release. I hope we don't all have to order from Amazon US, but it might be an eventuality. I actually think picking it up would be a worthwhile thing. I'm actually looking forward to picking up at least a box and both starter decks. Just see how it goes. I hope it does well. I don't know how well it'll do because it's a girly game. It's full of girly girls, and that's just the identity the game has. I know a lot of people being, it's that game. It's the girly girls, and yeah, I get it, but to be really honest with you, as you get older, I think this is part of aging. You just stop caring what other people think. This is actually what I said about the Caster Chronicles. But honestly, Wixoss is a much better game than the Caster Chronicles. From what we've seen, the packet and the set layout will be very similar in English to Japanese. I don't know how hard or easy that'll make getting cards. Cards in Japanese seem to vary wildly. Like, you'll have some cards at like 150 yen at the highest rarity and others at 2,000 yen. So in Australian, that's closer to $40, which is wow. But the drops of the higher rarities per box seem to be fairly generous. We'll see how things pan out, but I'm actually liking the look of it. I think the gameplay's solid. I think it's quite enjoyable. And it feels unique, which is something I'm really looking for a lot these days. Again, I know the game is known as Duel Master's sister game, and it does bear some resemblances to Duel Masters in that it has shield triggers, but they don't work anywhere near the same. And as I said, I think that's doing a disservice to Wixoss. Wixoss, your shields go to your resource zone, so that's very different. I don't really have much more to say on the subject, so I'll just leave it here. I enjoyed Wixoss. I hope I have the time to give it a proper review come November, but given how things are going, I'm not sure that'll happen. Till next time, this has been Some Gamer Dude, and thanks for watching.